Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan, and in this video we are going to be talking about a free agent signing that recently happened, and it is by the Cleveland Browns, a team that's having a sneaky good offseason in a lot of people's opinions, including mine. They brought in former Titans edge rusher Jadeveon Clowney, former number one overall pick. He's played for the Texans, then went to the Seahawks, then the Titans, now to Cleveland. We'll talk about what we think the move means for both sides and how it impacts Cleveland's season going forward.
No, I mean, undebatably, this is a good move for Cleveland. It's a 1-year deal. Jadeveon Clowney, I'm not sure how much money it was.
Someone of us
some other contract up. But I think this is a great move.
I think it was $13 million.
$13 million, which for a former number one overall pick is a good price for 1 year, I feel like. It wasn't really Jadeveon Clowney's year last year with the
$8 million.
Titans. It wasn't very
with a $2 million in incentives.
Yeah,
saying
so
different
depending
things
on how he plays.
Yeah,
at least so $8 million guaranteed.
Yeah, last year was a bit rough for Jadeveon Clowney, just compared to what we've seen with him in Houston and even in Seattle 2 years ago. But I mean, there's definitely a chance to bounce back when you have Myles Garrett lined up on the other side of the line. That's something that's definitely going to help him out. I think that duo could be a duo that becomes one of the most dangerous defensive ends pairings in the league.
Yeah, I think that you said it right there. That with Clowney, he still has potential. Just looking at the way his career started, me being a Texans fan, I know number one overall pick, a lot of hype, a lot of excitement around him, but just some injuries, injury problems a lot. Didn't play a lot early in his career, but things really started to take a positive turn in 2016. Total of 6 sacks, really started picking up his play, getting more confident. Then in 2017 and 2018, he really reached his peak. He was a solid player for that Houston defense, really helping them when that team was strong defensively, playing opposite J.J. Watt a lot of the times when those guys were both healthy. It was dangerous. So now instead of playing with J.J. Watt, he's playing with Myles Garrett, but same idea, another premier edge rusher that he could help take the pressure off of. So in 2017, 9.5 sacks. In 2018, 9 sacks. Then things kind of dipped down again. He left Houston, was traded to Seattle. Then things took a dip, only 3 sacks, 31 combined tackles. 3 sacks. Did have an interception with Seattle, though, but that was 2019. And then in 2020 with the Titans, things continued to go downhill. No sacks, just 29 combined tackles.
With the Seahawks, though, he had some big plays.
I'm not saying he's horrible. I'm just saying statistically, at least, his career has gone like this.
Since every time he's changed teams, it's gone down. But I really think there's a bright spot here with him being in Cleveland. He's got other guys to match up with on the line to improve his skill and have less people blocking him because they got to worry about Myles Garrett on the other side of the line as well. Give him an opportunity to get to the quarterback more.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to make that point. I mean, when you get a player like Myles Garrett on your team and you're playing with him, Myles Garrett's the guy that's going to be double or triple teams, so that opens more opportunities up for Clowney to get in those one-on-one matchups and avoid the double teams.
Yeah, the problem with Clowney is I think this guy is a solid player, but that's just it. He's a solid player, and I think he's just not a great player based off of what we've seen. With the Texans, they were his greatness. He reached a nice peak. But this guy's been now on 4 teams in the last 4 years: the Texans, the Seahawks, the Titans, and now the Browns. So that's got to be a red flag saying there's a reason these teams aren't signing him back. It's because he's a big name. Everyone knows who he is, and he's not playing his best football right now. So that's red flags. Good move for the Browns, not a huge risk. They got it for a good price with Clowney. So I think it's a good move for them. But with this guy, a lot of hype around him. First overall pick back in, 2014, whenever it was?
Yeah,
2014.
And, he's a good player. He's almost a household name. A lot of people who know anything about football know who Jadeveon Clowney is, but I just feel like the hype is there for him, and he just has not been backing it up. So we'll see what he can do in Cleveland. He's in a good situation. I mean, that's one of the better places to go right now if you want to resurrect your career, as these guys were talking about with the competition that's also going to be on the line with him. So that's good for Clowney, but again, there's a reason he's been on 4 teams in 4 years. It's because people have not been happy enough with his play, and because he's such a big name, you're not going to sign him to a huge long-term deal.
Yeah, and there's a reason why he's getting that type of money, because the hype that's been built around him. And in college, he was one of the best players at his position, definitely at South Carolina where he went. But really, in all of college football, him being drafted first overall was something that was huge. I'm finding right now in 2013, it says he played 11 games, but he only had 3 sacks. I don't know if that's true or not, according to this website. But then in his sophomore year, it says he has 13, and then freshman year he had 8. So it was consistent really throughout his play. at South Carolina, and it just hasn't been brought in the NFL, and that's due to what Ryan was saying. Things like the injuries and changing the teams is definitely something that doesn't help every year. You can't get much continuity if you're changing your home and your uniform every single year. That's got to be difficult. But if Clowney can get back to where he was back in 2017 or 2018,
Yeah.
he could be staying in Cleveland for a long term. And Cleveland could be one of the better teams. I was talking with one of my friends today actually about Cleveland when we found out about this. And I was saying now with that extra game, this team's got a chance to win 11 or 12 games.
Absolutely.
For sure. I mean, with that defense, and if Baker Mayfield can keep doing what he's been doing. So let's pivot over to the Browns themselves. How does Jadeveon Clowney impact the team as a whole?
He helps them a lot.
Yeah, it's another. I mean,
Thanks,
that's a blunt way to say it, but really, it's a signing that I think could potentially turn out to be very underrated, like some of the other signings that they've made in recent years. They also brought in some nice players in their secondary as well, so that defense is tightening up. The team's only getting more experienced. I think the offense is already, I think, one of the more complete offenses in the NFL. When you look at that great line that they've built via the draft and free agency, when you look at that run game, when you look at how Baker Mayfield improved, I mean, I was high on them last year, but I'm probably going to think even higher of them as we head into this year. Provided
What do you think? 12 games?
Oh, I think they could win 12 games. Absolutely, I think they'll win that.
I need to see their schedule. With the 17 games, I think 12 is very easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would not rule out 12-5. I think they're the favorites for that division right now. And even last year, I said they were going to win the division, and that was a bold prediction. But I was really only a game away, so almost hit that bold prediction. But I was high on them last year, and I think that they proved me right. I think they've got a culture there. I think Kevin Stefanski's the guy. I think they've finally been able to get all of Baker Mayfield's potential. So if the offense keeps doing what they're doing, and these new guys like Clowney execute their role and do what they were brought in to do, this team I think is at least a division-winning team.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited for this. Just for the Browns, they've been in such darkness for the past 20 years, it seems like, at this point. And now they're really starting to get to a new point with a new coach, adding new players. They added John Johnson as well, safety. Right?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
From the Rams.
And then I think Troy Hill, right?
Yeah, Troy Hill is one other Rams player. So this team is not as young as it was last year. There's more of a veteran presence. They still have the draft to go and acquire some players. I'm really excited for the Cleveland Browns in the 2021 season. Jadeveon Clowney just adds on to that because I was excited before that. So I really think this is I wouldn't say game changing because I think the Browns would be good anyways, but I think it could definitely make a big impact just because of the fact that there's more people to block now, so it's not everyone on Myles Garrett. It wasn't like that necessarily before, but still.
Yeah, and with the Browns, just one thing to stay on alert for. This is coming from me as a Bears fan. With these young head coaches, there's sometimes is this thing. I don't know how to explain it. There's definitely a better. There's just like this rhythm where they do really good. Their trend, thank you. Where they do really good their first year, and things are really looking up for their team. You're thinking, okay, this team was good enough to make it to a Super Bowl. Like they were an underrated team, but they had the talent. Now going into the next year, it looks like they've gotten better, and then they could flop, and that's what the Bears did after they lost to the Eagles in the double doink game. Now I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Did that too. After they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's true. So just because one thing happens doesn't mean it's going to happen to another team, but there's just a possibility. I always got to throw it out there. I hope it doesn't happen because I do like the Browns, and I'm going to pick them to win the division because I have the ability to do that.
Yeah, I will.
And if you were on this channel, you'd have the ability to do that too.
Well, you could go do it in the comments if you want.
You can if you want. You can make your predictions. You just can't make them like me right now sitting here. I didn't make the prediction yet. I want you guys to know that. I did not make the prediction yet. The keyword yet. We haven't made that video yet. And I haven't made up my mind yet. So we'll see.
Yeah, so go down and let us know your predictions about the Browns. Tell us what you think about this move.
Are you clowning around with me?
Very good joke. That really made me laugh deep inside of my soul. But there was someone that commented last video on our Jamar Chase video. Go check that one out, by the way. Very detailed. We had a good discussion about it. He gave us his pros and cons. Did you see that? You guys got to go check that out.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff we want. Go look at that comment, and that's the example we want to see from you guys, because that is a great comment. And you guys should be doing this about Jadeveon Clowney, because we'd love to talk about this. So go down in the comments and comment your opinions down below.
Joke.
Also, make sure to like this video. Subscribe to what did you say?
I thought of a joke. Okay? We're going to put Jadeveon Clowney on Iron Man. It's going to be Clowney on a Downey, because it's Robert Downey Jr.
Why wouldn't you just put him on Robert Downey Jr.'s body?
That's what I said. But I said Iron Man because most people wouldn't know who Robert Downey Jr. is. Most people do know who Iron Man is. And the actor who plays Iron Man is Robert Downey Jr. He's also in a different film that I forgot the name of, but I never watched it, and he's talking to animals.
It's the one where on the boat, right?
I don't think he's on a boat.
Let's look it up really quickly before we wrap this video up.
RDJ movie.
You guys can click off this video if you want, if you don't care. But just make sure to subscribe. Doolittle, that's correct. So let's end it on that note. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like the video.
But in these videos, we do lots.
Hit the notification bell, comment down below. Go check out our podcast and our Instagram. And with that, we will see you guys later.
See ya.